Welcome to the third re-review. Today we're going to be looking at a Bachmann locomotive, and it is the N-Class Mogul. As you can see, I've had this locomotive since June 18th. June 16th. I ordered it for my birthday, which was on June 14th, but I got it on June 16th. That's when it arrived in the post, and that was on a Saturday. See, I can remember quite a few dates. Anyway, here's the locomotive, and this is the third re-review of this series. So there's still a lot to do. There is still an awful lot to do. I've actually listed out which ones I need to do, and I have put it in dates on which ones I'll do to this date and this date. On days when I'm free, such as if there's an inset day at school or something like that, then I'll do a re-review. But anyway, let's get on to the detail of this gorgeous model. Just look at that. I mean, wow. Okay, she's not the most beautiful steam engine, but seriously, she is very nice. She's heavily weathered, as you can see, so it's quite a bit of a lime scale around the washout plugs on the sides of the firebox, and there's quite a bit of rust on the coupling rods, and you can see how dirty she is because she's worked a lot, which makes her look really realistic. I mean, I myself, I don't mind. I don't care at all if the locomotive's pristine or weathered, as long as it's good, as long as it can run, as long as it is good fun to look at. As long as it's really nice, I'd buy it. I don't mind if it's weathered or if it's pristine. Yeah, that doesn't really matter for me. For some people, it matters. They do weather their locomotive up, which makes them look very realistic, because in real life it is quite rare to see a pristine locomotive. But as I say, I don't mind. I'm not really into all this weathering stuff, simply because I'm not planning on doing a layout which will be extraordinary realistic, and simply because it is a bit too difficult for me. But anyway, let's get on to the proper detail. Sprung buffers, as you would expect. You get brake pipe, which I've added. That brake pipe there has been put on. Lamp irons, as camera focuses. See the lamp irons there, and there's rivets on the buffer beam, which is very nice. There's quite a bit of rust on the smoke box door, and the number is 31869, and shed code is let me just read it. 75B. The shed code is 75B. You can look it up on Wikipedia or any other site on BR shed codes to see what 75B was. You get very nice smoke deflectors. You get a very nice chimney, and I suppose if you're really clever, you could fit a smoke generator, and that would look very, very nice. It's very nice handrails going along both sides of the locomotive, and the coupling connecting rods are just lovely. They are very nice. They're very nicely well detailed. You get the cylinder cocks there, and the cylinders. You get a very nice dome, and two pipes leading up there. You get the safety valves there, the whistles, and the portholes, as you can see, for the cab, for the driver to see ahead. And you get very nice reversing bar here, which is very large. Just turn to the back. Okay, well, it's not painted, but it is a nice cab, as you can see. You get the reverser on the right hand side there. You get regulator and a few dials and levers, everything to make it look almost like a cab. You get an empty coal load. There is a bit of coal there, so I think this locomotive needs a bit of a refuel if it was in real life, because it would just stop running if it was to carry on like this. But you get very nice water. I think that's when the fireman turns that, it transfers the water from the tender into the engine, because this is not a tank engine. If it was a tank engine, the tanks would be on the side and it would not have a tender, and there would be a coal bunker at the back of the engine. So this is a tender engine. You get the early emblem there, and there's the number 31869, and the power classification is 4P and 5FB. What is 5F? Is that B? Oh, not exactly. What does 5FB stand for? I know what the 5 stands for, but what does the FB stand for? If you know anything, please leave your comments below. I would really like to know what FB means, because I know F means. Sorry, my nose is a bit blocked. Anyway, I know what the P stands for. It stands for passenger, and I know what MT means. It means mixed traffic, and I know F stands for freight. But what does FB mean? As I say, if you know, please leave your comments below. Very nice tender under frame with the axle boxes, and underneath you get brake rods, which you have to fit yourself. As you can see, I fitted mine. And yeah, front bogies, very nice. The coupling there is attached to it permanently. Well, you can remove it by means of a screw, but I'll keep it on, even though I tend to remove the coupling on all my tender I've removed the coupling on all my tender locomotives. You get the water filler cap there, and at the back you get little footsteps and lampines again, and the brake pipe, which I've added myself. And there's an extra brake pipe here at the bottom, and sprung buffers, and the coupling is NEM. As you can see, you can pull it out and fit one of your own. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned is that the tender and the engine are permanently coupled. They are permanently coupled. The only way you can remove them, the only way you could split them is by removing this here, and then obviously removing the two parts together. But apart from that, they are permanently coupled. And there's no wires, which makes it easier to handle, because then you'd have to be really careful. So yeah, but all in all, this engine is really nice. Wow, I mean, she's such a gorgeous engine. Perfect for pulling freight, even though she was a mixed traffic. But I feel she is more of a freight engine. But she looks more like a freight engine, because passenger engines don't get this dirty. It's often the freight engines which get this dirty. Passenger engines are kept more clean. But obviously she's a mixed traffic locomotive. She is technically mixed traffic. She's a 5MT, I do believe. So yeah, but anyway, let's put her on the track and see how she runs. So here we have the Bachmann N-Class Mogul on the track, and now it's time to see her running. So let's select her number. This is number 21. And off she goes. There she goes. So she's a little bit noisy, but she's running very well. Wow. I love the motion on the wheels. I'll just get closer. As you can see. He's running very nicely. This is running in speed. And now let's get a few shots of her passing. So yeah, she's running very nicely. Wow. See her cross over the point. Wow. She's a very nice performer. Although, however, there is one thing. There is one thing which I don't like about her, and it's this. Just get her to stop. So, yeah, as you can see, even though I put it to stop, I put the dial down from there, and that's where it ended up. So it's not so very good. It's not the perfect performer. It is a good performer while running, but apart from that, when it stops, that's where the problem is, as you can see. But she just keeps on rolling, even though it's there. Oh well, guess I'll just have to live with it. So all in all, she's a very detailed model, but it's just when she stops, that's the only problem, where she stops too slowly. As in, I put her to, I tell her to stop, and then she keeps on moving, and then stops suddenly. Apart from that, she's a nice performer, as you can see. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next re-review.